Hi there, this is Billy Tarasio from Modern Law Practice, and I want to talk to you about office space. Every single one of you is probably thinking about office space. Um, 6 months ago, we were all sent home and largely have been working completely remote since then. Our productivity is up, clients adjusted. They didn't necessarily like that they had to do Zoom consultations or meet with their and not come in and meet with their lawyer, but they adjusted. So part of you has to be thinking, or part of me certainly has been thinking, what does that mean for office space? The other thing that's very interesting is in February, in March, before the pandemic, I was already looking to expand office space. And for the first time in my 10 years, I had thought about office space differently. Not what do I need today, but what will I need for the next 5 to 7 years? Because for the last 10 years, I have never been in office space that was truly working for me. I was always outgrowing my office space. So there were countless like demolitions of walls and expansions and putting more people into one space, and I had never done office space right. And so for the first time, I was really thinking, okay, what does my office space need to do for modern law over the long haul? What does it mean for our culture? How should it work to serve our employees? How should it work to serve our clients? What does my office space say about my brand? I was finally thinking about this in a very, very different way and getting ready to drop more coin on office space than I ever had. But it seemed like a really good idea. Then we got sent home. Now, I was fortunate enough to receive PPP money and EIDL loans, low interest loans that must be invested in my business. And because my law firm has done well and was efficient from home, this money needs to be invested. And there are two places that you can invest money in your law firm. Two places: people and space. As far as space goes, you can lease out your space. So that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm going to plan I know how we're going to grow over the next 5-7 years. I know how many people that means. I'm going to get that much space now, and then I will sublease the space I can't use. Makes sense. Good plan. Then the pandemic hit, and now we all use office space differently. So I've asked each of my employees, now that you've done this, you begrudgingly kind of were kicked out of the office and had to go home. In your ideal world today, if pandemic was gone, how often would you come into the office? And most people are saying maybe 2 days a week. For me, for my firm, there is a loss in not having office space. And for me and my firm and our culture and what we want to be in the community and what the law firm that I'm growing, we want space. And we want the best dang space we can get. We want beautiful space. We want beautiful space that is flexible to the way that people work, which means sometimes we work at home, sometimes we work in the office, sometimes we work collaboratively, sometimes we work individually. And I've worked with an architect and designer to design a space that would work. We're thinking about this differently. I can get less space than I otherwise thought because people don't need a dedicated office space all day, every day. So we're thinking about assigning 2 lawyers to an office, different days. What does that mean? That means you want to have like a locked cabinet where people can put their personal space. You want to have floating space where people can come in if it's not their day. Like let's say that Darren and Ryan share an office space and the office is, Darren's on Tuesday and Thursday on week 1 and Ryan's on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week 1, and then it switches. But Darren needs to come in on a day that he wasn't planning to come in. There should be hot desks. There should be space available that is ready to use. We're also putting in a room that is going to be pretty flexible. We're going to use it as our yoga room. We're going to have tables that are on wheels that are collapsible. We're going to use that for support groups. We're going to use that for multi-purpose meetings. We're designing this space to work for the firm we're getting. I'm also working with a broker to get costs down. Now, at first, I was sure that I was going to expand. I made the decision to expand within the place that we're at. We're at Dana Park. It's beautiful. It's close to my house. It's probably the nicest, and close to my kids' school. It's probably the nicest, it is the nicest area where I'm at right here. But the price came in high. So I got a broker to do a market analysis and started looking at different zip codes, started looking at demographic information, started looking at other buildings. And based on the price and the quality of the building, I'm now going in a different direction. The bottom line is I've been working on this for 6 or 7 months and I'm not done. I'm negotiating a lease for space that I won't move into until next April. The biggest takeaway that I've gotten from this exercise is that I've always thought about office space wrong. And office space needs as much contemplation and as much planning as law firm planning. Like, it should be a part of your long-term analysis, of an ongoing conversation, and you need people to help you. I needed advisors. I needed a broker, a local broker who knew the market and who could give me good advice and who could push down the price and who could tell me what it might cost for tenant improvements and how much you should pay per square foot for tenant improvements and how much the landlord should cover and what to do with my existing space and existing lease. I needed advice on that. And I needed advice from a designer because I'm not a designer. I don't know about finishes and floor tiles and different lighting elements for ceilings. And taking the time to learn that isn't in my wheelhouse. So I'm so excited about this new space that we are currently negotiating. It's been so fun to think about how we're going to use this space. We're building in a kitchen with a very big dining room table for meetings and for collaborative workspace. We're building in the yoga room, like I said, that we can use for support groups for clients, because we're adding counselors. Like the space will be versatile, and it will also be, I will also be able to use it to sublease and make money. So I'm designing space where I can bring in complementary professions that will make modern law stronger, and talking to my team proactively about how they use space and how they're going to use space differently, and how do I make the space comfortable for them if it's not designated for them. How do I give them privacy but also not waste offices? So that's what's going on for us for office space. I would love to hear about what you're doing, because I know this is something that all of us are struggling with. Are you seeing prices going down? Are you leveraging the pandemic to get the best office deal you can? That's all for now, and I'll talk to you soon.